Hey there everyone, welcome to another... Oh no, this ain't gonna work. Hold on a sec. There. Presentation's everything after all. Sorry, I couldn't resist that time-lapse joke. Anyway, welcome to another vlog, and I have my iPad here because a story recently came up that was of slight interest. Let's put it that way. Man, you can tell how neon I am when I reflect iPad light. Anyway, so a story came up today that I thought would be interesting to bring up. A columnist for the Washington Post by the name of Robert J. Samuelson had the following to say: "If only the world could repeal the whole internet." Yeah, you already know what I'm probably going to think about this one, right? So I'll just read you the first paragraph. If I could, I would repeal the internet. It is the technological marvel of the age, but it is not, as most people imagine, a symbol of progress. Already disagree, but I'll continue on. Just the opposite. We would be better off without it. I grant its astonishing capabilities, the instant access to vast amounts of information, the pleasures of YouTube and iTunes, the convenience of GPS, that's not actually the internet, and much more. But the internet's benefits are relatively modest compared with past transforming technologies, and its controversy over links from the National Security Agency, this looms as an even bigger downside. Okay. By cyber warfare, I mean the capacity of groups, whether nations or not, to attack, disrupt, and possibly destroy the institutions and networks that underpin everyday life. These would be power grids, pipelines, communication and financial systems, business record-keeping and supply chain operations, railroads and airlines, databases of all types, from hospitals to government agencies. The list runs on. So much depends on the internet and its vulnerability to sabotage, infights, doomsday visions of the breakdown of order and trust. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm a bit annoyed at this, obviously. I'll toss my iPad off to the side here. Don't worry, there's something kind of cushy. Jacob's chair was sitting there. Anyway, so it's things like this that annoy the daylights out of me when it comes to the, quote, mainstream media. I guess I need to put them this way. Anyway, point is that I do not like things like this because it quite often fearmongers. Yes, there are people doing things like cyber attacks. Military installations are doing stuff like this. And if you think it's just China, then you're sadly mistaken. Everybody does it. They just don't talk about it, okay? So just clearing that out anyway. Like I said, the whole PRISM thing was not surprising at all, and to the people that were, I'm sorry that your bubble got burst. But the point is that things like this fearmong people. Like, I've had my older relatives, I won't mention specific ones, but I've had older relatives go, "Oh, well, I saw on the news where now they can steal your identity just by taking a picture." You know, it's things like that that annoy the daylights out of me because they take poor innocent people that do not understand how the internet works and they exploit them for things like this, and it just annoys me. Meanwhile, the internet being not a bastion of progress, I don't see where this comes from. For me, the internet has a whole bunch of advantages that I can list off the top of my head. But the biggest one, to me, is this. This thing right here that you are watching me in, whether you're watching it on the website or on YouTube directly, either way, I'm getting a view and I'm talking to you. So I really don't care which way you're watching it. But this frame that I am sitting in right now would not be possible without the internet. And I know he listed YouTube as an example, but there's something more at stake here. I have friends that I would have never met if it weren't for the internet. There are guys like the great Wayne Henderson, who always has supported me in a bunch of things. Let's call him a super fan, really. Cliff Ravenscraft, I wouldn't know who the heck he was. There's all these different people that if the internet did not exist, my friend Donovan Atkinson, he's all the way in Georgia. I say all the way, even though that's several states across from me in Kentucky, but you get what I mean. It would be a long drive for me to talk to him. I wouldn't know who the heck he was, or anything of the sort, if it weren't for the internet. Plus, more importantly, if it weren't for the internet, then there would just be mainstream media. There would not be people being able to give their opinions, doing vlogs and the sort. There would be no podcasting. There would be none of this. It would just be up to the people who were originally assigned the whole, oh, you're a major media operation, so you get access to this, and oh, you're a major media operation, you get access to this, there would be no, I hate to use the term, it's so cliche by now, but citizen journalism. There would not be anyone able to voice their opinion properly. Sure, you could still do magazines and stuff like that, but those really never had the reach that the internet does, because then your audience can find you. You do not have to really struggle to find your audience. You find who you talk to, and they will find you. And it makes for a communication of people that did not exist before the internet was around. And I am young enough to remember when the internet first started going mainstream. I have watched it as I've grown, and it's grown at the same time. And I can assure you something. People may do nefarious things on the internet, but that's what you deal with whenever you have a new technology, whether it be the Kodak camera. Whenever the Kodak first came out, people were talking about these wild Kodakers that would take pictures and destroy your privacy. It's always going to come back to that. Same with whenever comic books were around, and the printing press itself had a similar reaction when it was first invented. The point is, everything that's new will make people scared until we realize that it has more good uses than bad. Anything can be turned to a level of evil. It's up to us whether we decide to use it for that good or evil, and not up to some guy who thinks, oh, there's a battle going on the internet, we need to repeal it. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have even seen your article if not for the internet, so might be something there. Anyway, before I get any angrier, I'll cut this off. I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. It was just something that sort of struck to the core of me, and I had to talk about it. If you want to find any of the other vlogs, you can go to tscn.tv/vlog and find them there. And until next week, like I said, I'm doing these weekly. See you guys, and have a pleasant week. With the phone ringing. Bye. This has been a production of the Samcast Network. tscn.tv. What's your passion?